Okay, so this is where we ended last week with mission 1 and 2, the power up and the drive backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our notebook, and there's a couple of questions I'm going to ask you today that I need you to answer either during the presentation or as you're doing Coder Z, okay? So I'm on page 30 of my engineering notebook. It doesn't really matter what page you're going to be on. There's going to be a series of questions I will be asking you for the rest of the semester when we're coding, and you're going to answer them either through the PowerPoint or through coding. These questions are basically for you to have on paper so you can refer back to them as you code. If you're coding and you realize, oh, that's important, oh, I need that information, feel free to take notes in your notebook that will help you code later on, because there's specific numbers that are involved that if you don't realize that that's an important number, you're gonna have trouble later on. Okay, so I'm gonna title this Coder Z. Doesn't matter what page you're on. I'm gonna put today's date, which is 2/23. And the first question I'm gonna ask you is, what does 1,000 milliseconds equal in seconds? Okay, so that's the first question I want you to answer. What does 1,000 milliseconds equal in seconds? Okay, what does 1,000 milliseconds equal in seconds? Okay. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna be asking you questions in your notebook. This will help you with your programming as we go through the semester. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we're gonna learn about the wait time. It's super important, the wait time. For example, wait time tells the robot to stop for a couple of seconds, perform something, or just wait and do nothing. So for example, if I ask you, okay, I need you to go to your bedroom and grab a sock. Well, I need to also tell you, I need to give you wait time for that, right? I need to give you enough time to go to your bedroom and grab a sock. I can't just expect you to do this like that. Same thing for a robot. If you wanted to do something, you have to give it time. For the most part right now, you've just been telling it to go forward for a given amount of time. Mr. Moniz is calling me, Jesus. I've just asked you to go forward and it stops on like the red circle, right? Today, we're gonna be working with wait times. It's like, no, wait, stop. I want you to do this and give you time for it. So here in this program, drive power is 100. That means full power. You're going forward and you're waiting for 1 second. But in this program, we don't type it in as 1 second. If you type in 1, it's actually 1 millisecond, which is faster than a second, right? So when we write code in this program, we're writing it as milliseconds. And a couple of my students, 5th period, had a hard time understanding that. So if you have 1,000 milliseconds, you're really talking in 1 second. For example, if I were to tell you like, okay, I need you to go run for 1 hour, it's the same thing as telling you to go run for 60 minutes, right? Those are two equivalent things. They're just written differently. So one of the number one things we're going to be learning today is 1,000 milliseconds. It's really 1 second. Okay, right now we're going to go to Coder Z, and you're going to complete missions 3 and 4, and I'm only going to give you about 8 minutes. It's a pretty easy thing. You're going to be working with wait times. So if you log on, I'm going to put this, let's see. It's in your modules. All right. If I go into your modules, the link is there. So Coder Z link is posted in your modules. There it is. You open it, copy. I'll put it in the chat. This is, of course, if you already have an account.
What was the question we had to do?
Say that one more time. You're super, super quiet.
What were the questions we had to do?
The first question, what does 1000 milliseconds equal to in seconds?
Okay.
Okay, so if you log on to Coder Z, okay, so the number one thing I don't like about this Coder Z is it doesn't tell you that which mission you're on. So you can easily like do 5,000 missions and you're like, wait, no, Miss Amelia just wants you to do mission 3 and 4. So like Ty and Kevin already did mission 3 and they're working on mission 4 right now. So right now log on to Coder Z and you are to be completing missions 3 and 4. I'm going to set the timer. For just under 8 minutes, in which you have to complete code mission 3 and 4. Oh, I'll fix that, Stephanie. I'll fix that right now. It does? Really? That I changed it, Stephanie. Mission. Oh, yeah, it does, huh? I wanted you to work in the future. All right, the due date was wrong on that one, so it's due today, which is Tuesday. Okay, save it. Okay, so once you turn it in, that 0 will disappear. Sorry. So once you've completed missions 3 and 4, upload a screenshot that shows that you have completed basic navigation missions 3 and 4. Your screenshot must include your name on the upper right-hand corner. So when you're coding and you go to like your home page of basic navigation. So up here it says basic navigation 1. You've already completed mission 1 and 2, and then mission 3 and 4 are here. That's what you're working on right now. And it says your name on the upper right-hand corner. So when you take a screenshot, I need to see that your name is here. Okay, so mission 3 and 4, that's what you're working on right now. Introducing the wait time. So it shows you where to grab the wait time and how to work with the wait time, and back and forth. So complete those 2 missions right now. About 5 minutes to complete those 2 missions. going to resume. Okay, so now that we've discovered wait time, we're going to use wait time to actually turn. Okay, so the second question I'm going to ask you today, actually, I'll ask you two more questions. Question number 2. How do you turn right with code? Question number 3. How do you turn left with code? With, it should be with coder Z, with coder Z. How do you turn left with coder Z? Great, because each program that you learn how to code with, each program has its own code. Some of you will actually be learning like 4 or 5 different coding languages. What I'm teaching you right now is one particular code language, and some of you might be coming in from Mr. Yusi's class knowing a different code language. And if we were in the classroom, I would be teaching you a different coding language. And if you continue in high school with coding, you'll learn a different coding language. Okay, so these are your next 2 questions. How do you turn right with coder Z? How do you turn left with coder Z? The answers will be from the PowerPoint, and it will also be from the coding that you practice in class. So there's 2 ways to get your answers, okay? All right, so we'll continue with the PowerPoints. Okay, so now we're going to talk about turning. A point turn is a turn around the center of your robot. A point turn will occur when both motors spin at the same speed, but pushing the robot in opposite directions. So a point turn is basically, it's just kind of moving in either to the right or to the left, like pivoting, right? It's not traveling and turning. It will turn like right here, I'm going to turn. I didn't move forward or backwards. I just turned to the left, right? Here, I'm going to turn to the right. I'm turning without moving forward or backwards. That's a point turn. Okay, like you're pivoting. We're going to learn how to do that today. Okay, a couple of things you need to know about turns. Now, as you can see a little video that's on my screen, to point turn, we need to activate the steering option. Okay, Kevin. Well, let's focus on this and then focus on this, and then we'll hopefully you'll get back on 100%. Okay, so here it is. So to do a point turn, you need to change here from direction forward, which is what we've been doing, to set steering. So you do that by clicking on the gear option here, and then it will bring up and you'll select set steering. Now, I'll tell you the truth. For the first like 3 codes, they already do it for you. It's not until later on where you actually have to do this motion. Okay, open the drive option menu and check the steering box as follows. Now, this is important. For a point turn to the right, so if you want your robot to turn to the right, the steering set needs to be at 100. For a point turn to the left, the set turning is -100. Okay, so the set steering, if it's a +100, it will turn to the right. If you need to turn to the left, you need to the set steering needs to be at -100. Okay. So I'm going to be honest with you. I had the hardest time when I did this. I went to training for 3 days on this program, and they're like, all right, you're ready to teach it. And I'm like, wait, it's only been 3 days. I'm like, how? So part of my training was going really fast, and I missed a lot of things because the teacher's like, okay, go ahead and do all 9 missions. I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. And it's like, what? So I had to learn it super fast. And some of the missions I didn't do. And some of the missions I struggled with. One of the ones I struggled with, was with this mission 5. And then I struggled with it. And it wasn't until later on yesterday that I went back and I restarted it, and I and I paid closer attention to the little blocks that pop up, the little messages that pop up. I keep telling you to go slow, read them. One of the reasons I say that is because I didn't do that when I first started learning this program. And it caused me a lot of headaches, a lot of frustrations. So if I click on mission 5, before you start it, let's talk about this, how it loads. Okay. If you're stuck at a particular percent, restart it. If you're still stuck at that, it might be the fact that you're on Zoom that's eating up your power. Might be that. Okay. So here it's teaching you how to do a point turn. Yes, Sean, it's you. Everybody else can hear me, right? Hello, can you guys hear me? Yes, okay, thank you, Ty. Thank you. So Sean, oh, let me type that out because you can't hear me. It's you. Okay, so a point turn is a turn that keeps center of the robot stationary as the wheels turn in opposite direction. So it's already given to you. You see the steering, it's already there. So we don't have to click on the gear. Okay, so important thing to know is that the power is 15. It's already set to 15. Default is 100. It will be set to 100. You have to change it to 15 eventually. The first codes are already plugged in pretty accurate. Okay, the point turn is at 100. And what we just learned is if it's at 100, that means it's going to turn to the
right.
Okay, so now we're going to click on it. So my robot is not facing the correct direction here and needs to be turned in order to collect all the gas. So I'm going to click on play. Oh, it didn't do it. What happened? There it is. It turned too much. It turned too much. Okay. Did I miss it? So missed too much. Now, what happened was I missed all the tips. So if you ever miss the tips, you can go here to the light bulb and it will go through the tips again, right? So we learned that, that's okay. Now, this is the most important part. Oh, hold on, let me restart this. I don't like how it's doing it. It glitched out on me. So when you test it out, the point turn, the code that's written for you, it turned too much. It went too far, right? So that's steering at 100, we're okay. That means it goes to the right. We hit play. The robot turned all right, but it turned too much. You see how it's turning too much? To make a 90-degree turn at drive power 15, it should take exactly between 1.5 to 2 seconds. If you see the code here, the default code that they gave you was wrong. They gave you 2,300, which is 2.3 seconds. But the tip that they gave us was, no, wait, if you wanted to turn exactly 90 degrees, it should only turn between 1.5 and 2 seconds. So they gave too much wait time. So you have to right now figure out a number here that makes your robot turn exactly the right amount. That right amount is between 1.5 and 2 seconds. But can you type in 1.5 and have it work? No, because if you type in 1.5, it reads at 1.5 milliseconds, but we want it to be written as either you need a number between 1,500 to 2,000 milliseconds. So 1,500 to 2,000 milliseconds. So it's trial and error. go ahead and work on mission 3. No, mission, what mission is this? No, mission 5 and 6. Mission 5 and 6, right and left turn. Go ahead and do that now. Right and left hand turn. I'm going to set my timer. Literally, it's guess and check. Guess and check. Go.
What do we do when we're done?
Hold on, Ty. Give me 1 second. Ty, was that you speaking?
No, it's Ethan.
Oh, Ethan. Sorry, I saw Ty's box lit up, so I thought it was. So hopefully this loads fast. So again, if you're doing code, like they give you the code, you just have to like change it a little bit or add a new component. If you're sitting there going like trying new things, trying new numbers, and it's still not working, you kind of get frustrated. You're just like, oh, what am I doing wrong? There is a reset button to the code, and then it'll go back to like square one because all of your codes are saved. So if you go back to mission 1, you will see your original code that you worked on. If you go to mission 4, you'll see the code. And if you ever want to go back and be like, okay, well, how do I do a right turn again? I forgot, it's been a week or whatever. You can go back to that mission and it will show you the code that works. If you ever want to do a mission again, like you got a yellow, like you didn't earn 100% of the gas and you want to earn 100% because then Miss Lamelli's not going to give you 100% because you didn't get 100%. You can restart it. Oops, sorry, that wasn't, oh, yep. Okay, so if you click on this button up here, right here where my mouse is, it will restart everything and take you to like the beginning part, and it'll give you the tips again. So if you want to restart anything, any code, you just click on this restart button and it's like you've never done anything and you hit play. And it goes like, oh, there's a mistake. Okay, so this mistake was that I didn't wait long enough. It turned too fast. So I need to give it, and it tells you what to type in, 4,000. So this is pretty cool because it tells you exactly what to type in, then tells you to do it again. So this one, level set, mission 7 is pretty easy because it literally tells you what to click, what to type in. There's no excuses. Boom. So that was 7. So again, if you get like lost in your code or you want to see the shortcuts, the tips again, tips are here. You can always click on the light bulb for tips, or you can just hit reset. Right now, you're not changing a lot of code. So if you keep changing a lot of this, it might be better just to restart it and follow the directions. All right. So I only need mission 9 to complete this. I didn't finish this at training. I was doing it with 5th period or doing 5th period. So your mission right now is to complete all of basic navigation 1. If I look at the class standing, I can see who has done what. When you reach level 9, there's no code. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready, you can always go back here to the previous activity and see the code that you wrote, because more often than not, the code you just wrote will help you with this code. So everything gets built upon each other. So if you're sitting there going like, what do I do? How do I start it? Go back to the previous code, because by the time you reach level 9, mission 9, there is no help. It's all blank and you got to start from scratch. So if you need help, go back to the previous activity, click here, previous activity, and just kind of go back and use your old code, recycle. You're not reinventing here. You're using old code for this new one. I'm going to go back because it's going to help me tremendously. Something that I learned during training is if you have a code, a previous code that works, and you're working on new code like this one, feel free to take a picture of the old code with your phone. And that way it's kind of, you have it here and you go like, oh, okay, that's how I started it. It's not going to be the exact same code, but it's like a good foundation where you can tweak a little. So I have it on my phone, the last code that I wrote, that's going to be very similar to the code that I need here. So just gonna drop some stuff down. And then you can, if you have a mouse, if you right click, you can move this around. Have you guys discovered that? And if you use your wheel on your mouse, you can have different angles of what you're doing, because sometimes it's easier to like move around, have a different view of like, okay, I have to go forward and then turn right, forward, turn right, and then go forward again. So with your mouse, you can have a different viewpoint. With your wheel, you can zoom in to your robot, you can zoom out to your robot. And the milliseconds is 100% trial and error. You don't know, I don't know what the numbers are until I play around with it. Don't forget to change this, the drive power to not 100. I think it was 15, right? And then here I got to add, so data, and then this little tiny block here for my steering right there. And then I have to decide, okay, which way am I turning, to the right or to the left? If it's a right, it's one number. If it's to the left, it's the opposite number. It should be in your notes now. Try it and don't, oh, this is, try it. Who knows if it's gonna work? Oh no. So my code didn't work. Okay. But I can see what I did wrong there. So I can stop it. You can stop it there. You can replay your mistake. When you make a mistake, you analyze what you did wrong. You go, okay, it went the other way. Okay, so if I change this to backwards, will that help it? If your code doesn't work, oh, okay, so now my mistake is it went too far forward. Okay, stop it. And I'm gonna change this number. It's trial and error, kids, trial and error. There is no one right way of doing this. It's 100% like, okay, there's a mistake. Okay, so it's 3,000. The time is still off. Whoops. I'm literally trying to pass level 9, just like you guys did. It's still too much. Yay, I did it. Cool. Tomorrow, I'll probably ask you for the picture for 7, 8, 9. Recap for today. Let's see. So today, what you had to do, let me just erase the circle. Okay. Your discussion post, log on to Coder Z, completed mission 3 and 4, took a screenshot of that with your name on it. Then you took a screenshot of the actual code for mission 4. So the actual code for mission 4. I need a picture of that. I want to see what you actually wrote. The navigation mission 5 and 6 we just did, and then the right versus left turn little quiz that I've given you. If you fully understand how to do left and right code, there's a magical numbers. There's 2 actual magical numbers that are involved. If I go back to the PowerPoint, so one of the magical numbers is that your right turn involves a positive number and your left turn has a negative number. And then when you have your drive power when you turn is not at 100, but it's at a 15. It's at a 15. So if you've noticed all the codes that you have been working with, the default number here is actually 15. And I think they teach you that in lesson 5. Again, if you go too fast, you miss these things. But if you go to lesson 5, I mean, it does take forever to load. I 100% feel your frustration in that. Like I said, I'm literally the only one right now on the Wi-Fi. I mean, the phone's connected to the Wi-Fi, but I'm not on it. So it's everything is here and on Zoom, and my is super slow. So if you're in a household where you're sharing the Wi-Fi, Cozy is going to be extremely slow. If you need to catch up after class, you may catch up after class. It's probably one of the reasons why everything's due at midnight. Just in case, like, oh, I didn't finish all the coding. Cool. Just take these codes should not take you more than 30 minutes in total. So right here, Eric, to kind of answer your question. So right here, the dry power is at 15. So it's not at full power, it's at 15. That's one of the magical numbers. And then the turning, if it's a positive number, it turns to the right. And if it's a negative number, it turns to the left. So there's 2 magical numbers we have been hopefully discussing throughout the period. At 15, they set it up as 15. But when you get to mission 9, you have to type in 15. You don't want to give it too much power. Like when your parents turn, they're not like turning at full speed, right? They're turning at a slower speed. It's much, much slower speed.